We're joined now by Baba Usman Ngelzerma, who is the Secretary General, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. He joins us from Abuja. Good morning and thank you for joining us today. Well, many have identified the challenges, but a lot of people also trying to see what can the solutions be. Well, we know that you also have been focusing on this. What do you think and how should we be approaching this now with a view to sorting this out?
Well, good morning. Thank you very much, Chamberlain. You see, a lot has been going on regarding this issue. The different functionaries of government are very much on it. The legislature is very much on it because just like some months back, we have attended a public hearing in the House of Reps. Then later, we have attended a joint public hearing by the Agricultural and Services Committee under the chairmanship of Abdullahi Adamu and National Security and Intelligence Committee under the chairman of Shabala Biagi. We have discussed a lot on these issues, and the security too is on it. We have had a meeting with the defense headquarters. We have been meeting with the police. So a lot is going on these issues, and even on the union side, we have also taken quite a number of measures. Just recently, we have had a meeting with all selected elites from the Fulani extraction. In fact, from all human endeavors, we have gathered them together under the chairmanship of the Sultan. We have had a lot of discussions on these issues. So hands are on deck to solve this problem. You see, these are things that are perpetrated by criminals. We must condemn what took place in Okeko community in Ikwele local government. Is sad, but this is done by criminals. As I always say, we also suffer from the hands of the criminals. But before an investigation is conducted, people jump to conclusion that this is done by the herdsmen. Well, it may be so, but at least as a governor, he should wait and find out who are the perpetrators first before he apportion blame. After all, the whole of Ekiti State is his responsibility today, including strangers that are in Ekiti State. Even the cows that are in Ekiti State are the responsibilities of the governor today. He has a duty on them. So if you cannot honestly blame a whole particular group for a crime perpetrated by few, take for instance, we have a lot of these issues that in a span of 1-2 weeks, we have a lot of such issues happening in different places. Just yesterday or day before yesterday, there was a cattle rustling in Plateau State in Gembos community, in particular in Mongo local government. A Fulani man was killed, over 40 of his cattle rustled. Later, with the gallant effort of the military, these perpetrators were caught. They were apprehended, and to the greatest surprise of everybody, they all belong to the Brom tribes. So you can see how these things are happening. Take for instance, 2 weeks back, what happened in Kogi State. We had a situation in Injima local government, in Injima community, in Angpa local government, where 40 cattle belonging to the Fulanis were shot by that community. That the governor is on top of the situation. A lot is being done on it. We reported it to the police. And later on, a day after that happened, there was a case of killing in Ore, in Ajakuta local government, where the watchman, when he just sighted a Fulani man clearing his cattle around a particular solid mineral exploration company, he just shot at the cattle rearer and killed him. We didn't take the law into our arms. We reported it to the police. The police have arrested that watchman. A lot of things are happening in different places. Take, for example, in Ondo State, very recently, just like last Sunday, a Fulani man was killed. 10 of his cattle were arrested. And up till today, the perpetrators were not brought to book. We cannot jump to conclusion and say it is the Yorubas in Ondo State that have perpetrated the act. No. We are very happy that the governor is on top of this situation. He's doing something about it. He has, even on compassion, he has released the sum of 500,000 to the families, at least to pacify them. So these are the things that a leader can do, rather than just apportioning blame or taking these very harsh measures. Now, if you stop the Fulanis from reeling, where can they go to? It's like creating another big problem instead of solving it.
If I could jump in,
after all,
pardon me, if I could jump in, for many who have heard the efforts that your association is putting in, I reckon it will be heartwarming for them to see that some of these things are being done. But then, in many cases, if this, I think in all cases, if it's not properly handled, it could get out of hand. Has your association or anybody reached out to governors, maybe Ekiti State governor, to say, look, please calm down, we apologize for what's going on, but we're looking into this so that we can work together and not just allow things to get out of hand?
No, there was, look, Chamberlain, there was a happening that happened last 6-8 months in Ekiti State. There was a case of palm destruction in Ekiti State. The Ewe of Ado Ekiti reported this matter to our chairman board of trustees, who is the Sultan. The Sultan requested us to go there. We went to Ekiti State. We had a meeting at the Ewe's Palace with all the stakeholders, the different groups of the farmers, the government functionaries under the leadership of the Commissioner of Agriculture, our members from Miete Allah. We all gathered at the Airways Palace. We discussed. There was a palm destruction then. We borrowed the perpetrators to book. We cooperated with them. We did our best. We borrowed those perpetrators to book, and we compelled them to pay for the damage done on those palms. So these are things that should be done about these issues, rather than, making statements that will have very bad, a very bad repercussion. So we are calling on the government of Ekiti State to exercise a lot of restraint, exercise a lot of, to show statesmanship. Look at what happened in Oyo State last week. There was a problem in Ogomosho. The governor was bitter about it then. But when he invited the Miete Allah group and all the stakeholders, after discussion, it was discovered that it was not the fault of the plannings totally. The governor went on to even establish some designated areas as grazing areas. He also warned against poisoning of water. We, on our own part, we also requested our members to desist from encroaching into people's farms, desist from allowing small boys, minors, to go on grazing, desist from stop night grazing and what have you. When we had that meeting in Ekiti State, we took some decisions. And these decisions were implemented then by the State Minister of Agriculture. And since then, we have never had any problem until the one that took place very recently. So, I mean, it's sad. We condemn it in totality. It is the act of perpetrators. It is the act of criminals.
I think it seems that you already have the recipe to stopping all of this, because if you are giving us the example of what has happened in Oyo State, and the governor there has given a certain area as grazing areas for you, why don't we start looking at the need for us to have a ranching system in place, which for so many other people that have seen it in other parts of the world will not only help the herdsmen, it will also help the cattle. Are you for the ranching system?
You see, Suleiman, ranching is not a bad idea at all, but it's not something that will come immediately. It's something that will happen over time. Now we have a security situation. We have a situation of criminals perpetrating crimes under the guise of Fulanis and what have you. In most of these instances, when investigation takes place, you discover they are not actually Fulanis. But we are not saying we don't have criminals. I always confess we have, like any other community in Nigeria, we have our own criminals too. But then you cannot jump to conclusion and just apportion blame on a particular group even before an investigation is conducted. Well, our doors are open. We can still see the governor. We can still go to discuss and find ways of solving these problems. As I told you earlier, we have had a meeting with our elites from different fields of human endeavor. We gathered them together under the leadership of our chairman board of trustees last week. We convened that meeting to look at ways that decision solutions that can be provided to solve these problems. We have had a discussion, we have established a number of committees that can approach these issues from the different angles that we have. We have the pastoralist farmer crisis on one hand, we have the security issues on the other hand, and we have the media on one hand. You know, the media too has an important role to play in solving this crisis, because channels now is giving us an opportunity to come and say our part of the story. That is excellent. We hope all the other media houses will emulate from you to try to balance stories before they go to the public, because this one-sided dissemination of information to the public is what is portraying the Fulani man to every community today in Nigeria as a criminal, while it is not the case. We have cases, a lot of cases where Fulanis are victims, a lot of them. Look at the ones that I mentioned to you now, the communities of Injima, the community of Ore in Kogi State, the one that took place in Plateau State, in Gembos community, in particular Mongo local government. It was a case of cattle rustling. A Fulani animals were killed. 40 of his cattle were killed. They were loaded on 3 trucks. The army apprehended the trucks, caught the culprit. It was discovered they belonged to the Birom community.
You know, Baba Usman,
these are the things. I mean,
Baba Usman, you know what comes to mind now when you were talking?